Hello again. Well, if you've watched some of my videos, you know that I'm not a fan of the Bushes. And I'm not at all a fan of Jeb Bush for a whole lot of reasons. There's an interesting article that you might want to sort of gander at on Western journalism. The title is, "Who is Jeb Bush's Presidential Idol? The answer might make you sick." The good news is that it seems that every time Jeb Bush opens his mouth, he puts himself further away from being a serious contender in the 2016 presidential election, assuming that there is one, and that's rather doubtful. In either case, the individual that he proclaims to be his idol is Lyndon B. Johnson. Now, Lyndon B. Johnson was sort of unique. He was a far-left freak, whacked-out Democrat. He also didn't like black folks. And according to this article, aboard Air Force One, he reportedly told two governors that he would, quote, have those, the word starts with N, and you know what I'm referring to, voting Democratic for the next 200 years, end of quote. In another diatribe, he expressed disdain for, quote, uppity, end of quote, blacks. He said, quote, these Negroes, they're getting pretty uppity these days, and that's a problem for us since they've got something now that they never had before. The political pull to back up their uppityness. Now, we've got to do something about this. We've got to give them a little something, just enough to quiet them down, not enough to make a difference, end of quote. You see, the problem that I have with a lot of blacks that choose to be Democrats isn't because they're black. It's because I honestly believe they have no idea what the Democratic Party is all about. The statement that Lyndon B. Johnson supposedly made about Air Force One to two generals or two governors should really be all they need to hear. When he said, I would have those N-I-G-E-R-S voting Democratic for the next 200 years. And I think he's pretty much achieved part of that, because that's what blacks tend to do. They tend to vote Democrats without understanding that the Democratic Party started the Ku Klux Klan. The Democratic Party brought about and initiated the Jim Crow laws. The Democratic Party was dead set against immigration throughout the 20s and the 30s. The reason they're pitching the blacks and the Hispanics is because they simply want their votes. What more do you need to know about the Democratic Party other than what comes out of their mouths? You don't. Jeb Bush would be not as bad as this radical extremist Muslim Arab that we have running around the world playing president, but he certainly wouldn't do the country any good. I don't think that his brother did the country any good. We should never have gotten into the wars that he took us into. There wasn't any reason. There were never weapons of mass destruction. And as crazy as Saddam was, Saddam kept the lid on the Middle East. President G.W. Bush took that lid off, and nobody can put it back. That's what I think. So what do you think?